self-worth. And when you believe in your ideas and dreams, it doesn't freaking matter what anyone else thinks about you. Nobody can reject you unless you reject yourself. The reasons we don't pursue what we're supposed to be doing, our life purpose, is because we all live with this fear, this little like nagging voice that we might not be good enough. Woo! Woo! You exercise the demon. Sometimes we just gotta get that mojo rolling. We gotta get the juju out. We gotta get the weird shit out and let in the good shit. And you know what? I'm feeling it. Feeling a little frisky tonight. We're just going to arrive exactly as we are. Like, no bullshit. Yes, I know I'm wearing this sequin top and I'm a little bit extra today. I am preempting. I'm getting ready. I'm prepping to celebrate my birthday month, which is March. And I celebrate the whole month and felt like, I just needed like a little extra zazz or whatever. So here we are, little sequins. Got my hair did, got my pink hair did. I do my own hair. If ladies, you want to message me if you want to know how I do my hair. Super, super easy and very effective. I do this basically because I don't want to waste any time at the salon. So very simple, easy, cut my own hair, basically just kind of stretch it out and chop a couple layers into there. And I don't really know what I'm doing, but it doesn't matter because when I curl it, you can't tell. So it looks legit. You can't tell. If an actual hairdresser got in here and was like, assessing stuff, they would be like, what the hell is going on? But yeah, as long as I curl it, it's okay. Can't really tell. So anyways, I'm so glad you guys are here. I'm going to make this a quick video tonight. I'm jumping on here a little bit later. It's Sunday night, a little late in the evening. I didn't want to go to the gym today, but I made myself go and I'm feeling super fucking great about that. I did leg day. Awesome. Got a little pump, this booty ain't going to pump itself. So we got to make sure that we are hitting the gym and expanding our life expectancy. Because every time we work out, we're basically adding, hopefully, extra time to our life. So let's just get right into the thick of it. Something that's been on my mind lately is like self-esteem and self-worth and how freaking important it's imperative that we all get this message as soon as possible. And I wish somebody just would have like lovingly beat me over the head with this when I was younger about self-worth and how important it is to function. I see people who I think have had like high self-esteem their whole life, and I'm so happy for them. But at the same time, like part of me is just so envious. Like, wow, what must that be like to grow up and never question your worth and never question if you are enough? And if you are one of those rare, like beautiful flowers who's just always believed in yourself and you had great parents and all these fantastic role models and like, everything was just laid out for you and trust funds and all that shit. Like, I'm so happy for you, but like also fuck you because that was not my experience. And like the rest of the world probably also does not feel that way. So for me, it's been an everlasting fucking struggle to really like feel comfortable in my own skin, whether it was like my weight or now my music, because I'm performing all the time and, working on releasing independent stuff. But no matter what I was doing in my life, it was always like a constant factor when I was younger of not being good enough. And when you really boil everything down in our lives, like the reasons we don't pursue our destiny, the reasons we don't pursue what we're supposed to be doing, our life purpose, is because we all live with this fear, this little like nagging voice that we might not be good enough. And I just want to jump on here and either lovingly push you into the new paradigm, the new dimension of thinking that you are enough. I can lovingly guide you that way. Or if you need a kick in the ass, I'm more than happy to do that too. So I'm not above that at all. If you need a kick off the cliff into loving yourself, I will be that person for you because I fucking love you. And I want you to know how important you are and how the world needs you. There's only one of you. I wish that I would have had this advice when I was growing up. The programming that I received was that I was never good enough. I was never going to amount to anything. I was never going to make it in life. My dreams were shit. Like I was, not pretty enough or not skinny enough or just whatever, not talented enough, not smart enough. Like all I got was reinforcement of the negative. So now I've spent the past 20 plus years of my life unlearning all that bullshit. And what I discovered, this is going to blow your fucking minds, you guys. None of that's true. Our whole lives, we are just constantly battling other people's projections and other people's fear. When people fail to execute their own divine life purpose, what they want to be able to do is blame somebody else and take other people down around them because it makes them feel comforted that they never took that leap of faith. You want to avoid these people at all costs. Cut these people out of your life. They are a freaking tumor. They're a cancer. You need to get rid of those people. As they say, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Woo! That is some powerful shit. And we really need to live our lives like this. Like, it's not a game. You only have one life. And I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this, but we're all going to die someday. If you didn't know that before, I'm sorry. Go ahead, take a minute and process that. It's some pretty profound stuff and it should kind of scare you. Like we're not here forever. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. It could be gone in the blink of an eye. So I don't want to waste any time. And if you're a high performer like I am, if you're on this channel, you're probably a high performing person. Like I wake up in the morning and I have my routines, but I'm always going. Even though I might be gentle at certain parts of the day, maybe I'm reading, maybe I'm learning, studying, maybe I'm playing music or whatever, but I'm always pushing myself to keep growing, growing, growing. And the more I examine, self-reflect and study and meet other people who are successful and other high performers, the more I realize the one common denominator that everybody has is, they get to a certain plateau of self-worth. And when you believe in your ideas and dreams, it doesn't freaking matter what anyone else thinks about you. Because here's the truth. Nobody can reject you unless you reject yourself. That's a tough one. You're going to have to sit with that for a minute. Let me repeat that. Nobody can reject you if you don't reject yourself. There's only two opinions in this entire life that matter. Number one is your own, okay? Number two, and maybe sometimes not even that, because we can have clouded judgment and we can have, delusional thinking and be stuck in lack mindset, which is total horseshit. There's no such thing as lack. There's only abundance in the universe. Humans create lack with our own ego, with our fear. And the other opinion is God. And I'm just going to clear this up right now, here and forever, in case you didn't know this. Like, God gave you your purpose, whatever God you believe in, whatever you creator, whatever you like to assign to that. I like God, but sometimes, in my youth, like I was kind of rebellious and I rebelled against organized religion. So whatever, at certain times in my life, I felt more comfortable saying Holy Spirit or nature or energy or science, whatever you like to call that unseen, intelligent life force energy, that was bestowed upon you. And to deny like your God-given existence, your God-given right, your God-given beautiful divine self and divine soul is to deny God. And man, I don't even know what's more dark than that. So let me just reaffirm that. Nobody's opinion matters. Your visions, your dreams, your goals, your purpose, that comes from God. Your rights are given to you directly from God. So nobody else's bullshit should matter or affect you. And the second you realize this, you will become like the freest, most authentic, happiest version of yourself. You dream higher. You set goals higher than you ever could possibly imagine. Money will show up into your life in ways that you never dreamed of. All of these new channels of abundance. Like I don't worry about money anymore once I started betting on myself. When I started performing, when I first started playing music, I would show up and I would have shaky energy and I would be kind of weird. I was like nervous and, I didn't really know really what I was doing. I was kind of winging it and I didn't know if I was good enough. And I would show up with that strange energy and people can pick up on that. So I attracted strange people, people who didn't really vibe with what I was doing because I was giving wishy-washy energy. Once I got the hang of it and once I started really believing in myself, my stuff took off. And like now, when I perform, I only attract really loving, kind, amazing people who quite literally just cannot give me enough money. People throw money in my direction, lots of money. I get paid a lot of money to play music now, and it's amazing. And it's only because I flipped the switch of my self worth. Like, once you get high enough self worth and faith in yourself, you just know that nobody's opinion can ever tear you down. And it is so liberating. And I want that freedom for you guys. And I want you to be able to just like dance and live and, you know, play in the rain and whatever. Like, pursue your dream like your life depends on it, because it does. And also, too, when you think about it, like if you don't go after your life purpose, you're denying so many other people who may have benefited from your wisdom, your particular brand of wisdom. There's only one of you. There's only one person that can deliver the goods the way that you can. And that's your job, to figure out your purpose and share it with other people. And if you let fear hold you back, I mean, you're really doing a disservice to yourself, the world, and God. So, I can't really stress this enough. And like, for me, like my self-esteem came from repetition and showing up for myself. That's how I built faith in unshakable confidence in myself. It was because I kept showing up. Like, I had falls, I had scrapes, I've been through hardship, I have crap, I have trauma, I have all that stuff. Like, not anymore, because I've unlearned it and healed it all, and put that to bed. I put that in its grave where it belongs. The past belongs in the past. But when I was younger, I struggled with that a lot, and I don't anymore. And now, like, I don't give a shit. There's nobody who could take me down. Nobody. I still get weirdos sometimes on my YouTube. I get like dipshit trolls, and I know I almost feel bad for them, because like I know the stuff they're saying to me, it comes from a deep place of emptiness and void and lack and like despair in their own life. And that is just so sad. That's just depressing and pathetic. Like the other day, I got some guy who literally looked like if like Al Qaeda was a midget. Like, it was like Dave Attell, like short, like ISIS looking dude, commented on one of my love songs and told me that I was fat and ugly and can't sing, like out of nowhere. Here's me just singing songs about love and the moon and, praying for world peace and stuff and trying to help people heal, offering freedom and everything to people. And like, here's this broke ass. I can always tell when men are addicted to porn, by the way, because they're very aggressive toward women and very angry and hostile because they can never successfully access the type of woman that they see in porn. So then they take it out on every other woman. They get very, very aggressive. So I can always tell. So I already know this guy's a loser. Like, he's surfing the internet all day. Like, successful people don't sit and troll YouTube comments and try to hurt others, okay? Happy, successful people who have self-esteem and belief in themselves, they uplift other people. So that's how you know right away. First of all, like, take that with a grain of salt. But second of all, I was like, wow, like, I just laughed at that. I was like, interesting that a grown man sees, a beautiful woman who's happy, who's just making music for people on the internet. And that's what you think about. Like, that is such a dark place to exist in. But my point is, like, I don't live in that rejection state of mind. I don't reject myself, so nobody else can reject me. It's not true. Whatever they say about me is really a reflection of how they feel about themselves. And once you understand that, you will be unfuckwithable. Okay? And that's the thing, like, what you need to realize is everybody's bottom line, when you reduce all the clutter, all the noise and the chatter in your brain of like, I'm scared, I might not be good enough, it's not the right time, excuse, 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 excuse. When you boil it all down, what it reduces down to is I'm not good enough. Everybody's secret fear is I'm not good enough. But here's the secret, and I'm just going to drive this home over and over and over again. Your validation does not come from other people. Other people, their opinions are going to be constantly changing. How different are you now than you were 5 years ago? Are you a different person than you were 10 years ago or 20? Like, you see where I'm going with this? I'm a totally different person. I change my mind all the time. Every time I get new information, I change my mind. So my opinion changes. So, like, things that I've liked before in the past, I might not like now. I only used to listen to death metal. Now I play smooth jazz and like yacht rock and DJ house music. Or, my entire life growing up, I like hated country music, hated it. All right. It was like nails on a chalkboard to me. Like, I thought it was like twang, and I'm like, drinking beer and I like fried chicken. Like, I just did not understand it. And then a couple years ago, we have this country music festival on the beach. It's more like tropical, kind of like Zach Brown band type country, but there's all kinds of cool acts. Like Sublime was there a couple years ago, like Nelly, Adele, Shania Twain. So there's a ton of different variety of music. But like, what I realized was, this was like 3 years ago, I was DJing for like a big resort across the street from this festival on the beach, and tons of country people were there. I had to learn all this country music. Like, I walked into work and the owners were like, "Yeah, you need to play country." And I was like, "What?" Like, I don't even know one country song. And so I'm sitting there just like, what the fuck, like Googling popular country songs. I had no idea. But by the end of like the weekend, I was like, "Doon boot scoot and boogie." Like, I had a blast. They were the coolest, nicest people I had ever met. They were cute as buttons. Like, the young like college kids that were there were just, everyone was like fit and adorable and so polite. They cleaned up all their litter and everything. Like, nobody littered. They cleaned up all their trash. They were just so fun. And I was like, holy shit, this whole time I've been dead wrong about this. So, like, I don't know. Now I kind of vibe with that stuff. And what I realized was, wow, I didn't like this for so long. And now I got to know these people. And I'm like, hang on a second here. You guys just like drinking beer around bonfires, and you like guns, and you like freedom, and you like good music, and like hanging out in nature. I was like, wow. I mean, I'll be the first person to admit when I was wrong about something. A super long-winded story about that, but like, you guys get the point. Like, once you realize that, you get new information, your opinions change, and people's opinions change all the time. I used to not like something, and then I changed my mind, and now I enjoy that thing. So like, when people give their opinion with, no information about you, or they judge you or judge something you're doing, you just have to recognize that that person is operating from like a limited point of view. The eagle sees different things than the cockroach on the ground. And I'm not trying to compare humans to cockroaches, but like, you get where I'm going with that. You get the point. We all have different vantage points at different points in our life. So I see things from a different perspective now, and now I can appreciate that stuff. Like, when you're following your divine life purpose, your family and friends may not always appreciate what you're doing. But in the future, they might have more information. And once they see you, right? Once they see you flourishing and succeeding with that, they might jump on board. So just because somebody doesn't share your divine life purpose doesn't mean that you're not on the right track. And again, when you get back to that like unshakable, unwavering confidence in yourself, you will be unstoppable. And I want that for you. Like, we need that level of freedom in our lives. Everybody deserves to feel that way. You deserve it. I deserve it. I'm living it now. And I'm going to tell you another thing. Back to the family and stuff, not understanding, like, everything that I've done in my life, I barely had any support from my friends or family. When I started eating organic food 25 years ago, and when I started talking about fluoride, people thought I was fucking insane. Everything I was telling my family, like about chemtrails and all this poison and stuff, Crazy, crazy, crazy. Organic food. People thought I was crazy about that. When I started teaching Reiki and doing, spiritual healing and energy work, people thought I was crazy. And now science proves that. It's not even disputable. It's not even a debatable thing that we are frequency and energy. I mean, Nikola Tesla talked about that, forever ago, and Albert Einstein, but guess it wasn't good enough for my family and friends. But now they're all on board. Now they call me with stuff and they're like, oh, yeah, I'm doing a parasite cleanse. And I'm just like, I never thought that we would get to this point. This is absolutely amazing. So also too, be gentle with them. You don't have to demolish or destroy them when they disagree with you. It's just they don't share the same vision that you have. And you have to learn to honor that intuition. It's something between you and God, and nobody else has any part of that. And if you can't find people who support you, like call me, I'll support you, first of all. But also, don't share your dreams with anybody. Like, don't talk about it, be about it. You don't have to get everyone's approval or validation before you start your project. Just shut up and go do it. That's what I did. I got to work. I just went and did it. Like, people thought I was crazy for moving across the country and coming to Florida and just deciding I was going to be a musician. And guess what? Here I am fucking thriving. Like, all of these things. I taught myself how to play piano. I taught myself how to DJ. Like, I had never done that before. And I have no training. And I taught myself and I got it done. And now I'm, working on expanding my podcasts. And I want to inspire millions of people to live the most free, authentic, liberated versions of themselves. My next project, I'm diving into uncontracting with the state, with not paying taxes legally. I'm learning how to become a state national, and that's something that's really important to me. Pertains directly to all of our freedom. I think it's something that every American should be doing, and it's something that I'm really learning as much as I can about before I share it with you guys. But it is something that I plan on teaching in the very near future, and I have an awesome podcast coming up. I'm filming next week, March 4th. Yeah, so the podcast should be out the following week, beginning of March, and that's going to explain. I have a special guest on who's coming to teach us all about the state national stuff. But again, everything that pertains to like fully engaging the truest version of ourselves, putting ourselves into alignment, and fully liberating ourselves in every way possible. I want to see all beings fulfilled, loved, respected, honored, and liberated. And that's my one and only goal. Like, I love you guys, and I know what it's like to feel, unloved. I know what it's like to have low self-esteem. I know what it's like to have, your teeth kicked in. I know what it's like to fucking be so far down. You're just wondering if you're ever going to see light again. Like, I know what that's like to suffer and struggle. And actually, I think that the most beautiful people in the whole world are people who have been through so much pain and they've learned how to transmute that and turn it into success. And potentially, maybe I think it might be the only way to actually ever be successful, because I know people who have been sheltered their whole lives, and you know what? They fall apart in a crisis. I know people who have never had a real problem and they've never had to fight or claw or, beg, borrow just to survive. I know people like that. And like, when there's any sort of hardship, they just crumble. Like, they're like wet paper. It just falls apart completely. And like, if you have pain in your life and you've been through some serious hardship and some serious muck and mire, learn to see that as your most valuable asset that you have in your arsenal. Because when you're tested, you're not going to fall to pieces. It won't even phase you, because you're like, bitch, please, this ain't nothing. Like, I've seen real problems. This ain't a problem, okay? Like, you're going to have to do better than that. Like, someday I might tell the story of what happened, all the stuff when I first moved to Florida. It was like so insane. Like, have you guys ever been through something where so much like hellfire is just raining down from the sky and you just start laughing like maniacally because your life is in shambles and your hair is on fire, and like you just don't know what's coming next. I remember like during COVID, like I moved down here and then the whole world shut down, and like the events that occurred in my life after that, I was just like my eyeball was shaking and I was just like, come on, like what else you got for me? And I just started laughing. Like, but everything was better than okay. Everything turned out amazing. I realized during that time that when you put good out into the world, good always comes back as a safety net. And even though it was so absolutely insane for me, there was never a time where I didn't feel that I was in God's hands. I felt every step of that way, even though it was mind numbingly like terrifying and crazy, all the stuff that happened. I always felt like that presence of angelic energy, like kind of guiding me through. And when you really tune into that and you tune into your own inner strength and your vibration and your wisdom, and you tune in to the infinite abundance that is always available to you, that's the truth. That's the sacred truth that the forces of darkness in this world right now do not want you to know. You always have that light. You always have that ability to plug back into that universal energy source, and you realize that once you know how to do it, then life becomes a game. And it all begins with you flipping the switch and realizing that you've always been in the driver's seat. So if you are waiting for a sign to get your ass in gear, get your beautiful, sexy, delicious ass in gear, and start doing whatever it is you're supposed to be doing, this is your sign, okay? Like, don't wait. In the words of Frank Reynolds, I don't know how many years I got left, but I'm going to get real weird with it. And I do plan on getting weirder and less mature. There's a lot of things that I've accomplished, but I have even bigger goals that most people wouldn't even dream of that I'm putting into play right now. And I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to be about it. And I'm going to get you guys those results and proof that, like, when you believe in yourself, you can do anything. And if you don't have anyone who believes in you right now, like, prove them wrong and then let them be jealous from the sidelines, like soar up to the top of the mountain. If you're worried that like you'll be out of your depth when you get there, also too, by the way, as a side note, like the parties that I perform at and stuff, and like the private yachts and everything and all the charity events that I'm doing now, like when you get to the top, I'm personally not where I want to be yet, but like I'm surrounded by all these super successful people, and you really realize that like it's not what you think it is. It's not what you thought it was. It's just human beings. It's just people. They don't know more than you do, or if they do, it's like trial by error kind of knowledge for the most part. Most of these people started off where we are, where we were, where I was. They started off just like anybody else, full of fear and uncertainty. And the difference is that they just kept working and they didn't give up. So that's all I want to ingrain in you guys today, is that like, if you fear that you're not good enough and that's what's holding you back, I just want to dispel that right now, because nobody is better than you. when you like start going off in your direction, you're going to see what I'm talking about. You're going to realize that like all this time I was worried for no reason, because I got here and nobody really knows what's going on. People just act like they do. Like, life is so fucking silly and we make big deals out of nothing. Like, there's no reason to stall for one more moment. So I'm going to wrap this up. I know I always say it's going to be a short video. Jesus, how long is this? I always say it's going to be a short video. I need to stop saying that, because I love spending time with you guys so much, and this is so special to me, and I just cherish being able to connect with you guys like this. I have a lot of cool stuff happening. I have a lot of cool guests coming on. It's not going to be just me like flapping my gums at you guys anymore. I have a lot of really, really beautiful, amazing, soul level, awesome, beautiful human beings coming on the show. in the next couple months here for March, April, and we're starting to book towards summer too. So, also, if you know anybody who wants to come on the show, anything that has to pertain with freedom, we love freedom. This podcast is all about liberating the mind, body, spirit. So whatever that is, could be physical health, could be, financial success, career success, family success, holistic living, living off the grid, wellness. I mean, firearms, Second Amendment. I'm all about it. I love my guns, love my arms. So anything that has to do with living the freest version of ourselves, send them my way. Or if you want to be a guest on the show and you've got some things to add and to share with our fellow beautiful brothers and sisters, our beautiful liberated beings, then give me a message on Instagram. Do not message me on Facebook. Okay, I just started a new Facebook. For some reason, they've banned me like 38 times over the past couple of years. And for some reason, they just activated an old account I tried to make. So I do have a Facebook, but the DMs, the messages are like hundreds of thousands of weirdo creeps in my DMs. So don't message me there. Message me on Instagram if you need to get a hold of me, and I will do my best to stay on top of those. So, all right, cheers, you sexy, gorgeous ass creatures. I love you guys so much. I hope that you guys have some freedom today. I hope you get to feel liberated. I hope that you get to connect with some loved ones and put your feet in the ground. And I hope you drink lots of water and stay hydrated and gorgeous and moisturized and all that good juju. All right. I love you guys so much. And you are sexy bitches. All right. Cheers, guys. Woo!